there. This is going to be a garden video where we are going to use recycled cans like a tin can or a plastic. This is a mushroom container or maybe an old sour cream container. And we're going to turn these into little planters to start seeds in. So this is a project that you can try at home. All right. So I have my 3 containers, right, to give you some options. I have a trowel. If you don't have a trowel at home, you can use just a regular kitchen spoon. That should work fine for digging. I think you'll need a pair of scissors, any kind of scissors, a piece of cardboard, a marker or a pencil, something to write with, and then you'll need some seeds. Okay, so some seed packets. If you saved seeds, I think some of my 3rd graders, maybe, we made seed packets in one of our garden classes. So if you have those at home, this is a great thing to do with your seeds. Okay, so let's get started.
So for my purposes, and maybe your purposes, you can decide whether or not you want to poke holes in your containers. It's definitely something that you would need help from an adult to do. So if you want to skip that step, and if you want to leave your containers without holes, that's okay. It'll keep the water, once you water your plants, from leaking on the ground or on your table if you're keeping this inside your house. But just make sure you don't water too much, because then it could get soggy, and I'll talk about that more later. So for now, we're going to skip that step. Okay, so here I am. I need some soil to fill up my containers with, so I'm going to try using a spoon. So you can find any little patch of dirt in your yard to gather dirt from. Remember, it's okay to get dirt on your hands. Dirt's not really as dirty as many other things that we touch. I love getting dirt in my fingernails. You guys know that. My hands are always dirty at school. So I'm filling up. You want to fill it pretty much almost to the top. Doesn't have to be all the way to the top. So that one looks good. And now I'm going to do the other 2. Yeah, the spoon works great.
Okay, so we have our 3 containers filled with soil. Next, we're going to start our seeds. So I have some rainbow Swiss chard. I'll show you what the seeds look like. We're going to plant 3 different things today. Okay, so here's the rainbow Swiss chard. For each of my containers, I'm only going to plant maybe about 2 to 4 seeds, depending on the plant. We're just going to use these to get our plants started. And eventually either we'll thin them so we only have 1 plant in each pot, or we'll take our plants out and we'll plant them somewhere in the ground. But this is a nice place for us to start our seeds inside where it's much warmer. Okay, so I'm going to do my Swiss chard. How about I'll do it in the tomato can. And since the seeds are a decent size, I'm going to poke, let's see if you can see this. I'm going to just poke maybe 1, 2, 3 little holes. And in each hole, I'm going to set 1 seed. Sometimes I tell you guys to put 2 seeds in each hole. Sometimes I say 1 seed in each hole. It kind of depends. So 1 or 2 seeds in each hole. Okay, and remember that I have to gently cover up my seeds. And I didn't plant them too deep because I don't want the seeds to have to struggle through the soil to grow up. The next seeds we're going to plant is little gem lettuce. And this is a fun lettuce. It grows pretty fast. In about, let's see if it says here, it doesn't say, but probably about 50-60 days you'll have a lettuce head, so that's about 2 months. And it's a cute little tiny lettuce head, great for Caesar salad or putting on a sandwich or a burger. So these seeds look different. You can see those seeds. Okay, so with these ones, I'm going to plant them in my sour cream container. And with these, I'm not, because these seeds are so tiny, I'm not going to even dig any holes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle maybe about 5 little seeds on top. Put the rest of them back in my seed packet and save them for later. And then my seeds are just sprinkled on top. And I'm just going to lightly cover them up with the soil, just loosely. Lettuce doesn't want to be buried too deep. Lettuce also really doesn't want to dry out, so it's really important that you make sure to keep the top layer of your soil moist until you see the seeds start to sprout and germinate, okay? So there's lettuce. And then the last one we're going to start is a winter squash, a buttercup squash. I'm going to open this packet. Off. These are going to be our biggest seeds. So they kind of look like a pumpkin seed, right? Because they're related to a pumpkin. They look like a pumpkin, they'll taste like a pumpkin, they grow like a pumpkin, but they are a winter squash. So I'm going to do that in my mushroom container. And since these seeds are so big, I'm going to need to bury them deeper than I did my other seeds. So I'm going to make two little holes. Drop it in, kind of shove them down. You want to make sure that your seeds are fully covered with soil when you're planting them. Okay, so there they are. I can't see my seeds, so that means I did a good job burying them. So there we go. So, the last thing I need to do is give my seeds some water. I don't have a watering can, but I found a water bottle. And when you're watering your seeds, like I said, you want to make sure they're moist, but you don't want them to be too soggy because seeds can rot if they get too soggy. So you really just want to water after it looks about maybe half dry, half wet. But you definitely want to see some dryness before you start re-watering your plants. So I'm going to really gently kind of, sprinkle some. I remember I put a squash seed there and a squash seed there. Just a little bit on my lettuce and a little bit on the Swiss chard. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Because remember, I don't have holes in these and I don't want all the water to kind of sit in there like a pool or a pond. You just want it to be kind of moist like a sponge, okay? Not dripping wet. So that's it. We have to make our labels, right? So with our labels, we're gonna we're gonna cut strips of cardboard. You might have popsicle sticks at home, something better than I did, but I just had cardboard, so that's what I'm using. You can always get creative with what you have. So I always write the variety. So instead of just writing lettuce, I write little gem lettuce. And then I'm going to write the date. I think it is the 25th of March. And then I'm going to write rainbow Swiss chard. And again, the date. I always write the date so that I remember when I planted the seeds, and so I can look forward to when they germinate, because seeds might take about a week. So if you know that you started it on a Monday, then you can check on the following Monday. Well, you should check every day, but if they don't sprout until after a week, there's no need to worry because seeds just take some time to germinate. I'm gonna put, there's my squash, my Swiss chard, and my lettuce.